Hare Krishna. So we have entered a very important section of chapter 4, which starts from shloka number 16 and goes up till shloka number 24. That is learning more about karma on the platform of jnana. That's what we are seeing. So in shloka number 16 that we saw, Krishna is saying that even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Therefore, I shall explain you in detail. This is what Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Let's see the description that Krishna is giving from shloka number 17. Karmano yapi bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha karmanascha akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. So here Krishna is saying gahana karmano gatihi. Gahana, very difficult to understand the intricacies of action, karma, vikarma and akarma, very difficult. So he says that bodhavyam, it should be understood. Therefore one should try to understand. What one should try to understand? Karmanaha, one should try to understand karma. Vikarmanaha, one should try to understand vikarma. And akarmanaha, one should try to understand akarma. So here Krishna is saying that please understand what is action, what is forbidden action and what is inaction. So a very nice short description that is given by Srila Prabhupada, and a very important concept also is coming in this particular purport. So let's see that. If one is serious about liberation from material bondage, one has to understand the distinctions between action, inaction and authorized, unauthorized actions. So this is a very important point. If one is very serious to attain the ultimate perfection of life, what one should do? One should understand that which activities or which actions come under the category of karma, which activities come under the category of vikarma, and which activities come under the category of akarma. That is action, then forbidden action, inaction. Here Prabhupada says that one has to apply oneself to such an analysis. Why one should do this analysis? Because it is very difficult subject matter. One has to really understand, put his brain into it and try to understand the difference between the three. See, because action is something which we do every day. The activities that we do every day, we cannot stop that. So we need to understand that the activities that I am doing belongs to which category. And if it belongs to one of the category, what will be the result of the same? So this analysis is very important. Now let's try to understand the three different, in a very short way, in a very crisp way, I'll try to explain all the three. So what is karma or good karma? What is that? The activities which are in accordance with Vedic scriptures. Those are good karma or karma. What is vikarma? Vikarma is those activities against the Vedic scriptures. So karma is like following the Vedic injunctions and vikarma is going against the Vedic injunction. And what is akarma? Akarma means those activities which are done for the pleasure of Krishna. So karma gives rise to good reaction, vikarma gives rise to bad reaction, and akarma does not give rise to any reaction. So it is called as action, forbidden action and inaction. Now here a very strong point Prabhupada is making, very strong point. What Prabhupada says is, he is talking about akarma. He says every living entity is an eternal servitor of the Lord and that consequently one has to act in Krishna consciousness. The entire Bhagavad Gita is directed towards this conclusion. So what is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita? That we all are part and parcel of Krishna. That is what is our relationship with Krishna. We are servants of Krishna. And what are we supposed to do? We have to act in Krishna consciousness. We have to serve Krishna. This is what is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Then Prabhupada makes a very strong point. He says, any other conclusions against this consciousness and its attendant actions are vikarmas or prohibited actions. Now what Prabhupada has done? He has told that akarma is something which is valid. Both karma and vikarma, that is good action and bad action, are actually bad. This is what Prabhupada is saying. Why is Prabhupada saying like this? Because good actions or karma or pious activities are good only, right? Punya. What is the problem? Papa is bad, we understand. That is forbidden actions, papa, that is bad, we understand. But what about the activities, the punya? What about that? So here Prabhupada is saying that both of them are bad because both of them, papa and punya activities, both of them, they will keep the person in this material world forever. The only activity that will help the person to get liberated, to break the cycle of birth and death, or which will help to break the cycle of birth and death, is akarma, or action in Krishna consciousness. So here it is very clearly said that both good karma and bad karma are bad. And only thing that is good is akarma, because that helps the person to break the unending cycle of birth and death which he is traveling in from many, many lifetimes. To understand all this, one has to associate with authorities in Krishna consciousness and learn the secret from them. This is as good as learning from the Lord directly. See, this is the secret. For sure, this is the secret, because this secret key actually unlocks or unbounds the person from the shackles which he is bound from many, many lifetimes. What is the secret? Secret is to understand how to work in Krishna consciousness. And who can teach this secret? That person who knows the secret, who has applied the secret in his own life. A devotee, a bona fide devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. And the devotee of Lord Sri Krishna is equivalent to Krishna in terms of giving the teachings as it is. So whatever Krishna has given, a devotee just repeats like a parrot. So in this way, one understands that if we really want to understand the intricacies, Krishna is very clearly saying it's very difficult to understand. Gahana karmanah gatihi, he says. Very difficult to understand this. But then, if someone gets the shelter of the authorized devotee of Lord Sri Krishna, from him he can surely understand. Even the most intelligent persons will be bewildered. Even the most intelligent person, when they try to understand these three, even they get bewildered because it's complicated. It's difficult to understand. But we are fortunate that a great soul like Srila Prabhupada has made it very simple for all of us to understand as it is. So our goal of life should be, or our activities in life, let me put it like this, our activities in life should be such that every activity should be Krishna conscious activity. Every activity, whatever we are doing, we should be very, very innovative to understand how this particular activity I can convert or transform into Krishna conscious activity. Like for example, when someone is cooking, so that food that we are cooking, that can be offered to Krishna and then we can accept. So that becomes prasad when it is offered to Krishna. Or the other example can be when we are cleaning the house. When we are cleaning the house, cleaning various places in the house. So the consciousness can be that this house is Krishna's house. This place belongs to Krishna. So what am I cleaning? I am not cleaning my house, I am cleaning Krishna's house. Automatically what has happened now? The activity which was supposed to be activity, a normal activity, now it has become Krishna conscious activity. So in this way we have to change or transform our consciousness and then make sure that the activity that we are doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. So in this way, when someone does throughout the life, that person can be called as fully Krishna conscious person. And at the end of life, he attains perfection, that is going back home, back to Godhead. Okay, so this we understand that karma and akarma, vikarma, etc. Akarma we do. Now, suppose we start, after seeing this video, we start doing akarma. But then, what about the karma and vikarma that we have done before? What about them? Mahamantra will take care. Just by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, it burns off all the reactions of previous karma and vikarma completely. And the Hare Krishna Mahamantra helps to transform the current activities into Krishna conscious activities. Simple. So if someone wants to transform the activities that one is doing in day-to-day life into Krishna conscious activities, one has to be innovative And along with that, one should chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra while doing those activities. Now, Krishna is going to continue the same theme and he's going to describe more about karma and akarma. So, let's see that in the next video. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.